when eating for match day, it depends what time the match is. If it was an evening match, I would try to eat as many main meals as possible. So hopefully get my breakfast, lunch and an evening dinner in before I head off to the match, and then it'd be snacks in between. So if I know most matches will be tough, I might have my largest meal at 1 o'clock in the day, and then something smaller closer to the time, like a sandwich about 2 or 3 hours before I head off, and then my snacks in between, which is always fruit or yogurts.
On a training day, I'd probably eat up to 4 or 5 times a day, just with different snacks. I suppose I'd always have cashew nuts, Brazil nuts kind of on the go when you are commuting in the car, because it's important to have snacks with you, but you really can't underestimate the benefit of having a bottle of water and keeping your hydration levels high.
And again, you'd have a good breakfast in you. Usually you'd have Weetabix, or usually any type of cereal you can get. And you might then have a banana and a cup of tea or something with it as well. When I'm at college, I'd maybe be free 12 or 1 o'clock, so I'd just have a snack. It'd be even something like an omelette or a toasty, something like that, maybe something handy and quick to make. You'd have a big dinner then. You'd have your beef and your carrots and spuds and stuff as well, just as a big dinner. And then later on in the evening again, you could have another feed. It could be pasta, just something handy made as well. But usually in non-training days, I'd try and go for more bulkier foods where I might eat more, but probably eat less throughout the day, so maybe 4 times a day, but they're big feeds.